Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Diabetes Health Watch. My name is Wilberforce. I am a registered pharmaceutical technologist licensed to practice in Kenya by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. I am also a trained diabetes educator / health coach. Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to discuss about the risk factors that can predispose you to getting diabetes. One of the risk factors, apart from taking a high carbohydrate diet, one of the risk factors is race. If you are of the African origin or of the Asian origin, you are at a higher risk than the whites in getting diabetes. This might be attributed maybe to a dark skin, which prevents the penetration of UV rays that is responsible of converting vitamin D from the inactive form to the active form. Because vitamin D is important for the maturation of your pancreatic cells, which are responsible in producing insulin. Therefore, we can also qualify vitamin D as another factor that will predispose you in getting diabetes. If you are low in vitamin D, maybe your dietary intake is low, because foods which are rich in vitamin D are mostly animal products like eggs, dairy milk, beef, pork, and fish. For vegetarians, the most that is rich in vitamin D is mushroom, but you are at a higher risk of becoming also diabetic because of lack of vitamin D if you are also a vegetarian, unless you do some checks and balances. Another risk factor is family history. If you have ever had somebody in your family that has ever had diabetes, you are at a higher risk of becoming diabetic. This does not insulate those who have never had a person with diabetes in their family from becoming diabetic, because also lifestyle can predispose you in becoming diabetic. Another factor is your age. If you are above 40 years, you are already at the risk of becoming diabetic. Another factor is if you have ever had gestational diabetes, that is diabetes in pregnancy. Even if it diminished after the pregnancy, you are still at a high risk of becoming diabetic later in life. If you have high cholesterol, you are also at the risk of becoming diabetic. Also, if you are hypertensive, you have high blood pressure, it predisposes you to becoming diabetic. If also you have been smoking predisposes you to becoming diabetic. And also inactivity, that is a great one. If you are not active, if you don't exercise, maybe your hours, you are employed somewhere maybe, and most of the time you are sitting on the computer and you don't have time to practice, or even you are seated at home many hours, you are not exercising, you are not walking, you are not in charge of many duties in the house, you will become inactive, and that predisposes you to becoming diabetic. It is good if we can also up our magnesium levels, because magnesium has been found to be important in regulating insulin in the body, producing enzymes that are responsible for insulin production. Therefore, it is good if you're having a balanced diet, and please take your vegetables, your greener vegetables, kales, which is called sukuma wiki in Kiswahili, manago, and other greener vegetables are very, very important. in preventing you from becoming diabetic. Therefore, do not take them for granted. Do not entertain your children if they say, Daddy, sitaki hii, nimeshiba mboga, and you are just accepting it. You are predisposing them to diabetes in future because they are not having enough magnesium in their bodies, which is very vital in insulin sensitivity and insulin production. From here, let us look at the types of diabetes that we have. According to WHO, by now, 2025, there are 5 types of diabetes. Type 1 is called insulin dependent diabetes. That is an autoimmune disease whereby your body confuses the cells of your pancreas to be foreign bodies. So your immune system destroys the cells of your pancreas. So you have a pancreas, but it cannot produce insulin. Type 1 diabetes necessitates replacement of insulin. That means you will have to use endogenous insulin. You will have to buy insulin or get it from a medical facility, insulin that you will inject. You cannot only use oral drugs in type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is insulin resistant. Therefore, your body becomes resistant to insulin, to the work of insulin. I had said before that insulin is responsible for transporting glucose from your blood into your cells to be utilized for energy. So if you are maybe taking a high carb diet and your body cannot metabolize the carbohydrates you are taking and the sugars you are taking, that is insulin resistance, because the sugars cannot be utilized in your body. Type 3 diabetes is taken by a disease called Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease has been considered to be type 3 diabetes. Type 4 diabetes has been taken by gestational diabetes, that is diabetes in pregnancy. Then type 5 diabetes is the latest kind of diabetes, which research has been ongoing in Uganda and other parts of the world, and WHO has qualified it as type 5 diabetes, which is called undernutrition diabetes. That means that your nutrition is not at par, it's not enough, that causes that kind of diabetes. As we have discussed type 1 diabetes, I want just to note this because many people think that type 1 diabetes is only for those who have been born with it. But funny enough, type 1 diabetes, anybody can become type 1 diabetes at any age. Other things that can maybe cause type 1 diabetes even in maybe in teenagehood or adulthood include predisposure to toxins in the environment. Maybe you have had a mutation in your DNA, and other factors like viral infections. Like maybe by the time we are having COVID, I'm not saying maybe COVID transferred, made people to become type 1 diabetes, but many viral infections have the potential of making somebody become type 1 diabetes. I thought you should know this. Thank you for today this far. Thank you for watching this far. Kindly like the video, subscribe to the channel, and even share it with your friends. Thank you for the support you have given me this far. May God bless you and keep you till the next video. Bye.